Real Action is brought to you by Pertec, with 103 service and supply centres around Australia for all your hydraulic and industrial hose requirements. G'day, welcome to Real Action. Michael Guest, I've got Dom Thornley with me, and I've got to tell you, that was a very early start this morning. Raisin toast, cup of tea. I think someone else had a coffee. What'd you have, Ovaltine or something?
I don't drink that coffee rubbish.
I need a bit of caffeine to get me going, especially this morning, although anticipation's pretty high. We're going to go and chase some snapper right in and around the wash. One thing with snapper, it's about tide changes, it's about getting out of bed early. The good thing about being early was no one at the boat ramp, no one on the road this morning. We got the prime park at the boat ramp. I think we're up at 3:20 this morning. So hey, putting the hours in.
Whatever it was. But you know what we got? Tide change right now.
Right now.
Sunrise right now.
Low light conditions, tide change, all those things that we want to try and catch a snapper. Yep. Got him, Dom.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. That low light's doing its job for us, but I reckon that's just a nice pan-sized snapper, that one.
Good way to start the morning.
You just feel those head shakes bouncing around. Snapper, they love a bit of structure if you can get your cast in the right spot, and I reckon I did there, right in against the rocks. And mate, I reckon I can nearly lift him.
Net job? Oh, no,
I reckon you said, little fella. I can swing him straight up, bud.
Beautiful.
Just like that. Look at that for this time of the morning. Fantastic. Long, slender, soft plastics are what we're using at the moment, which just look like a wounded bait fish, and there's some birds diving around just in and about the area. It tells us there's a bit of bait there, and we're trying to replicate that, aren't we?
There's a cheeky little cast you made just over here.
It's just where that whitewashy line is, and this fella will be sitting fairly high early in the morning, hunting around looking for some bait, and he's mistaken some bait for my soft plastic presentation. 1/4 ounce jig head, so quite light, getting that suspending action down through the water column. Just using the electric motor to sneak us around. The snapper are one of those fish, and I talked to a few mates who dive a lot for them. I've never been lucky enough to see too many real big ones in the water been swimming, but they're very sensitive to noise, and that stealthy approach, especially for the big fish, can really pay dividends. So either use the breeze to poke you around, or here we don't have a lot of wind at the moment, it's nice and calm, so this is a really good way to do it. So we'll just sneak back into the zone and try and get those casts right in against the rocks. Yeah. Oh, good fish, good fish. Come on. Come on. Come on. Big long cast, into gear. Make sure you wind that slack up so that you're ready to be in contact with that bite. And that's exactly what happened there. Feel that lure sinking down through the water column. I reckon this is the next size up as far as snapper goes, this one. Dom's just going to let me do the honours with the net. Yes. And I got to tell you, woo, that's why you get up at 3:20 in the morning. Dom, come and have a look, mate.
That's a beautiful fish.
Hey, where would you rather be this time of the day than right here, right now?
Absolutely.
I love my job. What we really wanted to talk about in Real Action today was the fact that you've got to fish these low light periods, especially this time of year. It's quite warm at the moment. We're still in that summer period, and these fish, they'll go and sulk in the deeper water pretty quickly. So got to maximise these windows, and it'll be the same late this afternoon
as well.
I'm not sure we're going to make it that long, but we'll see.
What are we going to do during the day?
I've got some plan. We can go a bit deeper and do a bit of jigging a bit later, I reckon.
Wow.
Look at that. There's that long, slender, soft plastic, and I can see that's a beautiful snapper. Best thing to do is I'm going to let this one go and watch it swim off. Off you go, bud. So we can catch another one. There you go, mate. Go on. Oh. There's nothing better than a day on the water, but you want to make it home safely. So remember, one of the most important pieces of safety gear is your life jacket. 7 out of 10 boaters who have drowned in New South Wales waters were not wearing one. Life jackets come in a range of designs, so they won't get in the way whether you're chasing a big one or just taking in the sights. Whenever you're out on the water, make sure you and all the crew put one on. Marine Rescue New South Wales volunteers saving lives on the water. All right, I love these sort of natural, pilchard looking colours, anchovy colours. Lots of scent, plenty going on there. I'll set that down there. So just make sure you get that rig nice and straight. So come in and follow me here. 1/4 ounce 5/0 jig head. Loop knot onto our 30-pound fluorocarbon. Line that up nice and straight down the back. We want really good hook exposure for the snapper too. So important to drive that hook in when you feel the bite. Slide that up. I tell you, that's ready to go. Look at that. Here comes a boat. Oh, got him.
There's an inquiry, Michael.
So go, mate.
Oh. Turn his head here. Shallow ground. Oh, gnarly down there. Come on. Come on. Out you come. Oh. 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 We might need to chase this. Dare I say it? Oh, bummer.
Smoked. That's part of fishing. That was a big fish.
That's a good fish.
Really good fish, and it's just done you on the edge there. We're just starting to drive towards it to try and chase it a little bit, but unfortunately, that's part of the deal, mate.
That's 1-0 to the snapper.
That is. You can see the bait here, so that's our down scan picture on that big one, and I've got conventional sounder here, and a couple of good fish just sitting above that bit of a pinnacle, but you can see how rough and rugged it is. So rugged, I should say. So once you hook those fish, you've got to try and do a bit of driving to get above them. And I reckon when Dom got blown away before, as the fish has run along and hit that pinnacle and gone over the top, and we're here, the fish gets to there, unfortunately, your line is going to hit that rock and it's all over. So those real big fish, sometimes it pays to start the motor, even the big petrol motor if you need to go real quick, and try and beat the fish to this side. So if you're there, fish is heading over that edge, you're going to try and stay above it to beat it to there, and the sounder really shows you that well. Bait there, bait on the bottom, that all looks pretty good. Touch. Yep. Oh, it's just woken up, this fish, Dom. Just woken up. Come on, bud.
Do we need to get on top of him?
I'm not sure, mate. I think I've got him. No, he's coming up.
Coming up?
The telltale sign for a snapper with this sport fishing tackle are those head shakes, and I can feel those head shakes bouncing around. Looking down the water column. It's a bit early for my sunnies yet, but I'll be putting them on in a minute, but I can see some colour down there now. Looking down the water column, and that's a quality snapper right there. Oh, that's a good looking fish. It's a funny sort of bite though, that one. Dom got absolutely blown away there a minute ago. He's up the front having a cast. So I'll just, I can look after the fishing at this end, I think. If I can get this fish in the net. You just got to take your time sometimes. Rock it underneath there. Oh, job's done. And a bit of a lift up. Oh, yes. This one was a funny sort of bite, this one, Dom. It was a real slow bite.
Slow bite, yeah, right.
It's one of those ones that sort of just slowly climbed on it. I tell you, look at that.
Wow. And isn't it worth getting up so early?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
One of the first boats up here.
You got to do it. And we've had a couple come past us since, but I reckon we've probably got another hour or so.
Yeah.
Water clarity is a big thing, and as the water, as the sun gets up and that water's super clear, I reckon they're such an eyesight predator. Have a look at the eyes on that fish. Check that out. So they really do, I think this time of the day, they're up higher in the water column. They're looking around for a wounded bait fish to come floating down the water column, which is what we're presenting, and there's the result. There you go. Long, slender jerk shad, I should say, is doing the job. I'll definitely lift this fella back up. We'll get him back in and Yeah, amazing. The fish will be a few years old. They're slow growing once they get a bit bigger, snapper, so I'm going to let him go. Off you go, buddy. Go on. Pinch up my tail. Oh, I love seeing that. And that water is so clear, I can still see that fish heading back down, probably heading back in towards the rocks there. So yeah, definitely a slow growing fish. So for me, those bigger fish are a catch and release version only. That worked out, well, worked out pretty good for some people, not so good for others. So the early start, the bite is finished. It is just like a light switch. We've got some nice fish. I've got a couple of good ones. You got blown away, my friend. That was a big fish. I'm happy to say that if my fish was like that, I reckon it was double the weight. I think it might have been something in that 8 to 9 kilo mark.
Thanks for rubbing it in.
Sorry,
Thanks for rubbing it in. But no, I guess, yeah, look, early light, early bite. And then I guess the question I've got is, for a lot of snapper fishers, is once that sun comes up, you've got a lot of time between dusk. What do we do? What do we do in the middle of the day?
In this, bright sunshine, real clear water this time of year, I think you just got to go wide now. So that's what we're going to do. Maybe drop some micro jigs down, do a bit of jigging, some heavier plastics, and see what we can't find out a little bit wider. And I think that's the plan. And then as that light drops again in the afternoon, if we're still about, we
come back and catch him.
Well, you can have another go. Well, have another go at that same fish. Good luck with that. That's not
That's not bait.
I thought we'd just get a few live yellowtail before we head a little bit wider. It's such a glorious day. You never know when a live bait's going to come in handy. You could see a free swimming marlin around. So I thought I'd just throw a soft plastic out on the bait spot we've got here. And I've got to tell you, it hasn't worked out too bad. Look at that. Beautiful little snapper. And if you're going to keep one to eat, Dom, I reckon a little pan-sized one like that would be perfect. What have you got?
How's my
Show
red
everybody.
Fish? How's my red fish?
That is not a snapper, that's a wrasse. I think I win there.
You win
But that is on a bait jigging rod. There you go, look at that.
Oh, there's an inquiry. Just trying to jig up some bait there, and I just quietly threw the plastic out the back. Actually had it in the rod holder. I just picked it up, and here we are. A nice snapper. And here he is. Oh, that's a good one. Just grab that there, and up he comes. There we go. Job done. Wild bait jigging. There we go.
That's more like it.
That's much more like it.
So we swapped over, it was my turn on the bait jig rod. Oh, that one then, that's a perfect size to keep for a barbecue and if you're going to eat. And they're great eating fish. We've moved out a bit deeper in, 30 metres of water now, so that's definitely changed things up a little bit. And I've got to tell you, that's what we wanted to see. We're going to go a little bit wider again yet. There's some slimy mackerel just busting around. Lots of little black marlin around at the moment. If we can get a couple of slimy mackerel, we could even finish the day having a troll later, but plenty to do before we get to that.
It's very fishy out here.
Well done, mate. That's perfect pan size, that one.
Beautiful.
Just spotted a small juvenile great white shark right here. He's just out and about doing his thing. He's just cruising off that way there now, having a bit of a turn around. It's amazing what you see out here, I'll tell you, amazing.
Here we go, boys.
Got him, mate?
Got him.
That's the shot.
Little midday inquiry.
Yeah. So those peak bite times, we've spoken about snap before, low light, and we were here at low light, and then we went away and said, look, the tide change is at lunchtime, even though bright sunshine, but there is a bit of a pocket of dirty water pushing here now, and the fact is that it's right on that tide, and that's when you will get snapper to bite.
There's a big king just there on him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just chased him up.
Wow,
followed him up. I might
awesome. Swing him up, mate.
Swing him up?
Yeah.
Thought I might leave him in the water and see if we can...
Are you going to leave him in the water? It's only a pan-sized fish, but just goes to show the plan the plans worked. So that midday tide change. Well, let's first cast.
That's first cast.
And we're staying a little bit deeper, so maybe the fish have moved down and stepped out a little bit deeper. Is it all right if I hold your fish?
Yeah, you can,
It's
please.
behaving pretty well at the moment. How pretty are they when you go diving? Look at those blue, iridescent blue fins, the blue dots, that little blue mask on the eye. They're a cool looking fish.
Let's get him back in. There was something bigger there that chased him.
What was it? What an absolute cracking morning. I'm on the PWC, so it's time for a bit of fast fishing. I'm heading off to the sand flats, see if I can't catch a few whiting. All right, first things first, when you want to catch a whiting, we need to get some bait, and whether it's live prawns, live worms, or these fellas here, live yabbies like that one there, look at that. Yabby beds here, this is a great place to collect some. So we're going to put some of those, I've got some water in that top tray there, keep those fellas alive. And we'll go and feed those back, have a bit of a polarise and flats around the flats, find the whiting, feed those back in the current and see if we can't catch a couple. Check that out, that's a seriously big yabby, a big nipper, so I'm actually holding it by the nipper so it doesn't bite me. That's it's quite a large one, that one, so I'm going to sort of hold that there. You can pinch those off if you really want to, but sometimes I think they sort of ward off the smaller fish as well. So it's just that little number 8 hook through the tail, turn it around, then back through the tail again. So just really lightly rigged. Just fed that one back. I'm not sure if it's a brim or a whiting, this one. Possibly a whiting, I'm hoping it is anyway. But great fun on this light tackle, 1 to 3 kilo rod, and just a little 2000 size spinner reel, some light braid, and that 4 pound fluorocarbon leader, tiny little hook. And it's about as simple as fishing gets. And you know, it's such a fantastic apprenticeship to start on this light tackle fishing and then work your way up to catching your marlin that are going to jump and do those great backflips, and your giant trevally, snapper and kingfish, big barra, all those other fish that we want to work up to. I reckon it starts here as basic as. Oh, I've got my net there, so just got to relax, sneak him in. Yes! All right. Check that out. That's a beautiful looking fish. There we go. Exactly what I was looking for. I can see them cruising around behind me there. Getting harder now with that bit of breeze, but that's a beautiful looking fish. Check that out. See what they call yellowfin whiting. Got those beautiful yellow fins. Catch them right on the ocean beaches. I'm in my home estuary here at the moment, Lake Macquarie, and it's a great place to catch them, but that's a quality looking fish. That beautiful yellow line that runs down the lateral there. Look at that downturned mouth. So they spend their time eating things like crabs, prawns, squirt worms, and of course yabbies, which is what I caught this one on. All right, let a lot of line out that time. Way back down the flat, not sure what I've got. I think it is a good whiting. And it's really important to use soft hands when you're fighting fish, especially on super light leaders. We're talking 3 pound leader. So when that fish lunges, it's really important that you lunge with it. Don't pull back. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Now that's a solid whiting. That's a little bit bigger again, that one. That's, oh, they call them elbow slappers. I reckon he was slapping my elbow then, him or her. I've got a bit of a lie detector on the back here. Have a quick look. Yeah, it's up in that high 30s. It's a good fish. Once they get to 40 centimetres long, they're a seriously good whiting, but he's, or him or her, don't know which one that is. Oh, look at that. Look at that. One of my favourite things to do is to polarise the sand flats. Look at that. That is a beautiful sand whiting. We had some fun blasting around on the PWC, chasing these fellas across the sand flats. Yesterday, I was catching snapper with my good mate Dom Thornley. So one day out in the ocean and the next day on the sand flats. But look, I tell you, it's all real action, and that's what you've been watching. Michael Guest on my own. Look out, I'll catch you next time. See you later.
Real Action is proudly brought to you by the all-new Amarok, born from tough love. Look after your best mate with Hypro, pioneers in pet food.